Mr. Jim Perry.
How are we, Tucson? I am so excited. You guys are a great crowd. I hear you guys laughing back there. You guys are great. I'm getting made fun of in the back and by some of the staff. I want to see if you guys agree. I was told I look like a youth pastor. A youth pastor if he had a drug problem, I don't know. I was also told I look like Nicolas Cage if he had a vitamin D deficiency. And then the best one was Bob, who you just saw. He said I look like Stephen Baldwin if he was from Paducah, Kentucky. Wow. I'm from the Midwest. Any Midwest people tonight? Yeah? Shout out some states. Where are you from? Illinois? Other states besides Illinois?
Missouri. Indiana.
Indiana, Missouri. One more? Wisconsin. We'll talk slower. All right, cool. Good to have you. Are there any Mormons in the room? I heard Mormons. Where are you guys at? Yeah? I saw your bicycles double parked outside. All right. Nice. I do comedy everywhere. I just got back from a third world country. Yeah, Yuma, Arizona. Wow, have we been to this place? It's like the Star Wars cantina down there. No, it's like the Star Wars cantina. That is the only place that if you have all your teeth, they look at you like you're suspicious. So I got pulled over by the police department there. And I was speeding pretty good. And the cop walks up and he goes, "Young man, why are you going so fast?" And I lied. And I was like, "Oh, my wife called. She said the house that we're staying in, she said the front window is broken and she thinks the burglar's still inside." I swear to God, the cop goes, "Let's get this sucker." Guys, he makes me follow him lights and siren to the house. I call the wife, I'm like, "Weird request. I need you to break out the front window." My poor son that was taking a nap got arrested for a felony. I don't think that's good. But I was doing a show at their comedy club. It's called Giggles Comedy Spot. And I was bombing. I was not doing well at all. And there's a lady in the front row asleep next to her husband. And I said, "Sir, will you wake up your wife, please?" And he goes, "You're the one that put her to sleep. You wake her up." The second show, I bombed as well. There's a guy in the front row. I did so bad. He's in a wheelchair, front row. I did so bad, he stood up and walked out the door. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. You guys aren't going to do that on me, are you? No? I am excited. I don't know if Bob mentioned, I got a deal. We just found out in the back. I got a deal with Netflix. Yeah, they told me my first month is free. And after that, only $19.99 a month. So I'm excited. So who's got my parents at? Parents in the room, where are you at? Yeah? How many kids? Just the one? Two? Are they good kids?
One is.
One is. You're the only troublemaker. Who's got the most kids? Anyone got more than 3, 4 kids? Over here? How many you guys have? Do you guys have parents, or? Where's mom and dad? They dropped you off and left. So we've identified the Yuma, Arizona parents of the room. My son thinks he's a comedian. Tell me if you guys think this was nice. My son comes up to me and he goes, "Dad, you look like an indecisive person." And I go, "Why am I indecisive?" And he goes, "Because you have 2 chins and you're only trying to grow a beard on one of them." Same kid, same conversation goes, "Dad, when you die, do I get an inheritance?" And I told him, "Yeah, but I want to be honest with all you guys, that check is gonna bounce." No, he's a good kid. I'll never forget when we got pregnant with my son. My wife goes, "Let's talk about baby names." And she goes, "What do you think of the baby name Jamal or Kareem?" And I was like, "I'm thinking Is this my baby? But we were at Disneyland. We brought Jamal with us. He's a good kid. We're at Disneyland, right? And we're on that roller coaster that's in the dark. I always forget the name of it. Young people, you can help me. Space something. Space Mountain. Thank you, dear. So we're on Space Mountain. Mid-ride, we hear a 12-year-old girl screaming at the top of her lungs. And then we realized I was that 12-year-old girl. But guys, I look over and my son, mid-ride, is text messaging on his phone. Mid-ride. And then it made me realize how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be on life support. And he's gonna unplug me to charge that dang phone. My one son thinks he's a comedian. I just had a birthday. He bought me a birthday gift. I open it. It's 3 AA batteries. And there was a note attached. It said, gift not included. He thinks he's a comedian. But I don't get this. Maybe you guys can help me, young people. All my kids listen to is 1990s gangster rap music. Yeah? Yeah? I do not understand this. We live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I mean, they're thinking they're like in Boys in the Hood. Right? It's more like Boys in the Gated Community. They're listening to NWA. I'm part of an HOA. It makes no sense. And how gangster can you be if you're allergic to peanuts and gluten? Right? You throw an Uncrustable peanut butter sandwich at my kid, he's no longer with us. They don't get it. Where's my married people at? Married? Yeah? Some of you looked excited at that question, okay? I like the audience though. I want everyone to look around. This is very diverse. This is nice. I like this. We have like every type of music here. We got the young people. You guys probably like download your music. We got a lot of CDs and cassettes are here. We got 8-track right here. I see you, sir. We got phonograph back there. I see you. You can laugh louder. He can't hear you. It's fine. How long have you been married, phonograph? He doesn't even know he's here. All right. You, sir, are you married?
Yeah.
How long?
35 years.
35 years? Look at you, sir. Anyone got him beat? 8-track? Yes?
42.
42 years, wow. 42 years, like in a row? Yeah. I was at a show last night. True stuff. This couple had been married, I can't remember, Bob, 73 years they had been married. And I asked the husband, I go, what's the secret to marriage? And he says, communication and always understanding each other. I asked the wife the same question. She goes, no habla inglés. I married my high school sweetheart. Yeah, my high school sweetheart. We've been married 29 years. Yeah, thank you. My high school sweetheart, I was her teacher. Just a joke. I was her youth pastor. My wife's mad at me. She says I'm on social media too much. She says I'm on the Facebook too much. She goes, you better do something about it. So I did. I blocked her. She's real mad at me. We went to the mall. We were at Scottsdale Fashion Square. They got a big mall down there. And she's shopping for dresses. And I was trying to be funny, and she asked me this question. She goes, do I look fat in this dress? And again, I'm trying to be funny. And I go, it depends. And she goes, depends on what? And I go, how much is that dress? She says $1,300. And I was like, moo. Forget that, man. Phonograph, do you guys fart in front of each other, you and your wife? He's like, we poop in front of each other. So true story, I farted in front of the wife like 2 weeks ago. And she's gonna be thrilled I'm admitting this. I farted like 2 weeks ago. She farted this morning. She tells me I'm disgusting, right? She farts this morning. I'm like, you're disgusting. And she goes, that wasn't a fart. That was an angel's whisper. I'm like, your angel needs mouthwash. What the? An angel's whisper. That made me laugh so hard I farted. My wife says I'm not polite. I said, I opened your car door on our date last week. And she goes, yeah, but we were driving 75 miles an hour. It's funny, man, when we were early on married, we would kiss everywhere. Like one time we kissed on a putting green. Another time we kissed in a tent. And the most fun, if I'm being honest, is we kissed in a kayak. Now, we're no longer allowed at that Bass Pro Shop, so that's okay. Do you do the hall pass phonograph? You know what the hall pass is? You're allowed to kiss one person outside your marriage without getting in trouble. So my wife says it's Bradley Cooper for her. Some advice to my men, okay? When they ask you who your hall pass is, the one person you're allowed to kiss, don't say her cousin Jessica. I got in a little trouble for that one. I have crazy family. Who's got crazy family? Applaud loud for me. Yeah? Just so you know, if you're not applauding, you're the crazy in your family. So my sister is living with us, and I had to go to the gym, right? And I accidentally, quickly, in a rush, grabbed her sweatpants instead of mine. And I did not notice this until I got to the gym, looked in the mirror, and my butt said juicy. Now I'm dating the Mountainside fitness trainer, Kyle. And my in-laws just moved in with us. It's not terrible. It's worse. No, my in-law and my father-in-law, they're always fighting. And my father-in-law is like, hey, Jim, we're fighting. Can I sleep on your couch? And I was like, absolutely not. I'm married to your daughter. That's where I sleep. So, phonograph, you laughed too hard at that one. Is that where you're sleeping tonight? After you poop? I don't know. Oh, I wanted to talk about my dad. So my dad is not a very religious person. We went to Catholic Mass, the midnight Mass, and I look over, and my dad lit a candle. And I was like, Dad, you lit a candle? I go, I didn't know you were religious. And he goes, I'm not, I just farted. That's the family I grew up in. I just had a birthday. I'm excited about this. I just turned 49 years old. Yeah, I could tell I'm getting older. How old are you? What's your name? Any idea? You, ma'am, right here? No, you right here. How old are you? You don't have to answer. It's rude to probably ask a woman how old she is. How much do you weigh? No, I just turned 49, and my body is changing. I don't know why I'm looking at you, phonograph, when I said that. Like, have you ever seen a hairless cat? My friend has a hairless cat. We're at his house. The cat sniffed my phone, unlocked my facial recognition. I don't think that's good. But I've been gaining a lot of weight. My doctor put me on an all-vegetable diet. First day of the diet, I choked on a baby carrot. And right before I passed out, I didn't think of my friends, my family. All I thought was a cupcake would have never did this to me. And I'm getting depressed about getting fatter and my body changing. I put a bumper sticker on my car. It says, honk if you think I'm sexy. Now I just sit at green lights and wait. You gotta get a lot of like medical procedures. Phonograph, I'm of course talking to you. You getting a lot of medical procedures as you get older? I had to get a colonoscopy. Yeah, they made me get that for the first time. And it came back clear, But I just want you to know, regardless of what my wife tells you, my head was not found up there. It was not there. My pooping habits are changing. I poop every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. The problem is I don't get up till 7 o'clock in the morning. But I'm getting so depressed about getting older. Tell me if this is weird. I haven't shared this. I prepaid for my cremation. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, no? No, I prepaid for my cremation, but now I'm having regrets. Like, what if I die in a fire? Do I get a refund? I don't know. My cardiovascular system is changing. I wear an Apple Watch a lot. My wife asked me to help her with chores around the house, and I never really vacuum or anything. She had me vacuum. 3 steps into vacuuming, my Apple Watch goes, "Are you on a walk right now?" I don't think that's good. I was in the Navy. Any military people here? Military? Yeah? What branch? Marine Corps. I was in the Navy, so if you need a ride, sir, I got you covered. Nice. Phonograph, were you a veteran? Did you fight for the North or the South? He's gonna go to his car, get his musket, and kill me. I'm just kidding, Phonograph. So, I was not only a veteran, I'm also retired from the police department. Is that a good thing here? Bad thing? Good? I was at a show, and this lady yells out, "Get off the stage, pig." And that's the last time I invite my mother to a show. I tased her. I don't feel bad. No, I get off stage. I'm like, "Ma, really?" I said, "You're going to heckle me at my show?" And she goes, "Take a joke, Jimmy." She goes, "You need to know that those young girls that I was sitting next to, they said that you look like that cop from the movies." And I got all excited. I was like, "Oh, like a young Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon?" And she goes, "No, they said a Paul Blart mall cop." Some have asked me why I wanted to become a police officer. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Discounted food. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, if you show your badge and ID at Chipotle, you get 50% off. If you show your gun, 100% off. That guacamole is expensive. Would you guys agree with that? Do you guys still do DARE anymore in the schools? The DARE program, do you know what that guys is? Do you know what that is? So it's like say no to drugs. So I was a DARE officer half of my career. Thank you. But what's ironic, and bear with me here, okay? I have a disease called Crohn's disease, and I had to get a medical marijuana card. And I think we could talk about that now. Marijuana is now legal, and it does help me, and I take that stuff. But what's ironic is I think I'm the worst DARE officer that ever was. I told these kids for years to just say no. It was my turn. I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. And I was not good with the marijuana. I smoked way too much one time. I'm walking down the street to pick up my daughter from middle school. Yeah, I don't have a daughter, so I don't think that's good. We just adopted a dog. Are you guys dog people or cat people? Are you dog people? We adopted a retired canine officer. Sounds kind of cool, right? Not cool when you have a medical marijuana card. We are messing this dog up. Last time I was smoking, I told my wife, I said, "Hey, we need to hide my medicine in the closet." It's a drug-sniffing dog. It found all of it. It ate all of it. I didn't even know dogs could do this. He comes running out of the bedroom. He had the biggest smile on his face. And we know he liked it because when we took him for a walk that night, he tried to lead us to the Taco Bell drive-thru. We turned this police dog into Snoop Dogg. I think that's pretty good. I used to pull over a lot of cars on the police department. I had a guy one time, I pulled him over. He's super drunk. And I'm like, "Sir, I need you to step out of the car." And he goes, "I'm too drunk. You get it." I had another guy, almost the same thing. He's super drunk. I said, sir, I need you to step out of the car, do field sobriety for me. I need you to take the tip of your finger and touch the tip of your nose. And he goes, I'm too drunk. You touch it. I had a guy, people are stupid too. I had a guy, I was like, sir, do you know why I pulled you over? And he goes, because of those 3 felony warrants. And another guy, I was like, sir, do you know why I pulled you over? He's like super drunk too. And he's like, bro, if you don't know, I'm not telling you, man. I had an elderly lady one time. She filed a missing person report for her husband. And 3 days later, she comes into the police department and she says she wants to cancel the report. And I was like, oh, did we find your husband? And she's like, no, I just don't miss him anymore. Married people are funny. I was like, sir, I arrested this guy, and I was like, sir, do you, anything you say can be used against you? And he goes, I know, I'm married. I was talking about marijuana. That's obviously something that people take and should not drive. I had a guy that, I want you to kind of picture this traffic stop, okay? He's in a green Volkswagen. It's got a bumper sticker on it that says Pot 420, and there's smoke billowing out of the cabin. And I'm like, sir, are you okay? You're going 10 miles an hour. And he's like, that's the speed limit, man. I'm like, no, man, that's the highway sign, I-10. I'm like, when you get to the 101, that's not the speed limit. These people exist. It drives me crazy. Our dog, I was telling you about my retired canine officer, his name is Sonny, and we call him our little son. And we just got a new neighbor, and I wasn't thinking this out. And I'm talking to the new neighbor, and I'm like, oh, my little son peed on the rug, so when we go to work, we're gonna put him in his cage. Yeah, they're gonna take me out of the HOA presidency, I think. I ate, you think cops like donuts? Have you guys ever heard that? Yeah, I ate 13 donuts one time. 13, yeah. And someone's like, how did you eat 13 donuts? And I was like, alone, in the bathroom, crying. It's fine. I'm gonna take you on the road too. I like you. I was a lot heavier than what you see right now. I lost 100 pounds. I was very heavy on the police department. And this is when you know you're heavy. I had a police officer come up to me and he's like, Jim, if you die on the job, I don't have enough chalk to draw your outline. I'm like, that's not good. I used to get in trouble on the police department, obviously because of my sense of humor. I'm gonna tell you a few stories that got me in a little trouble. So, I am a very good artist. I'm a very good drawer. And I wanted to be a sketch artist, and I brought in my first assignment that I wanted to show you guys. I asked Randy, and he said it'd be fun. So I think you guys will recognize this too. So hold on one sec, okay?
Okay. What Mississippi?
So I brought in my first assignment when I applied to be a sketch artist. This is what it was. It was draw a short white male, very round eyes with sunglasses, pudgy type face, double chin, wearing a blue and yellow hat and navy blue shirt, holding a large stick. This is what I turned in. Yeah. I didn't get the job. That's fine. One time we had this police officer, it was my boss, and he would fall asleep almost every midnight shift. And of course he's asleep in the break room. I walk in. Not only is he asleep, he has a half-eaten roast beef sandwich on his chest and a bunch of crumbs. I thought it would be funny to take a picture of him and post it on the department Facebook page. Now in my defense, I thought it was a private page. It's a public page. But what got me in trouble was the caption. I wrote, this little piggy had roast beef. I got 3 days off for that one. There was another one where it was my absolute goal on the police department to have the funniest body camera footage. So we had this guy, and he was swearing at me a lot, and he's like, this and this pig, this and this pig. And as I'm putting the handcuffs on him, I got caught on camera, the body camera, saying I might be the pig, but he wee-wee-weed himself. So I got caught on camera going, I might be the pig, but you're the one that's gonna wee-wee-wee all the way home. Yeah, that did not go well. Got a couple days for that one too. That's fun. And I'm gonna yell at you guys, all right? You guys gotta be very careful about, and you know who you are, when you're texting and driving, we gotta not do that, because when I am pulling you over, it really makes it tough for me to finish my Candy Crush game, and I don't like that, so. I used to pull over some celebrities. I'm from Chicago. Any Chicago people? Yeah? Couple? We're not proud? Come on, the Bears. Yeah? Last time we had a good team was what, 85? Yeah. So I pulled over, you know, Dennis Rodman. You guys know him, right? So I pulled over Dennis Rodman. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's going like 130 miles an hour on the freeway in a red Lamborghini. I walk up. I'm like, Dennis, I go, I know you're in trouble with the NBA. I go, you give me a good excuse I've never heard before, I'll let you out of the ticket. He goes, I'm just trying, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm just trying to keep up with traffic. I'm like, Dennis, there's no traffic out here. And he goes, that's how far behind I am. It's pretty good. I let him out of the ticket. I thought that was pretty good. You guys know who Penn Jillette is? Have you heard of him? No. So if you don't know, he's a magician and a mentalist. And I pulled him over, and it was the middle of the night, and I said, he says to me, he goes, if I could read your mind, will you let me out of the ticket? Now, I'm not gonna tell you what he said, I'm actually gonna show you, but I need a volunteer. Can I use you, young man? You can stay there, you can stay there. So I want you to think of an actor that we would all know very, very well, and I want you to say that actor's name loud and proud.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Is that Star Wars guy? All right, so he says Mark Hamill. Wouldn't it be crazy if that's the one picture I brought is Mark Hamill, right? This is what Penn Jillette did to me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mark Hamill as a baby, everybody. Now, what if you would have said, I don't know, like Darth Vader or Denzel Washington? I had that covered. All right, you guys like impressions? I want to try an impression on you guys. Yes? No? Yes? So this is my impression of everyone in this room when you see a police officer next to you at a red light. This is you. You all do the same thing. You guys have been a great crowd. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, I'm excited to announce this. I was in a few movies during COVID, and they finally got released. And if you're interested in following my comedic journey, if you're young, you can follow me on Instagram at The Cop Comic. If you're old, you can follow me on Facebook at The Cop Comic. And then Phonograph, I feel like we had a moment. You can follow me to Cracker Barrel, all right? God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.